This weekend, a lot of people opened their own pools for the season, and many community pools around our area are getting ready to open on June 1st. In today's Mommy Moment, sponsored by Tender Care Learning Center, we wanted to take a few minutes to focus on the seriousness of water safety. So we invited Christine Palmer from Goldfish Swim School to give us some tips to keep our kiddos safe and get them ready for the pool. And this is so important. We had our kids over at my aunt's pool, which she just opened up a couple weeks ago, and I realized how important it is to make sure that they're safe in the water. I mean, you always think that, but they don't know what to do.
Absolutely. And that's the big thing this year that has changed is the American Academy of Pediatrics has lowered their age that they recommend children start taking swim lessons from 4 years old to 1, which is so important because according to the Center for Disease Control, the leading cause of injury-related death is drowning in children 1 to 4. So having training and having those lessons. But the biggest thing that we can do today is always be watching kids when they're in the water.
So you brought this, and I thought this was such a neat idea. So this is called a water watcher. So tell me about this.
So everybody always thinks somebody is watching the kids. So when we hand this off, then that person knows we have to watch the children in the pool. Their job is to be present, not to be reading a magazine, looking at their phone.
You are the
lifeguard on duty. And when it's something physical in their hand, it makes them think that it's just not, oh, do you have them, or, you know, so-and-so is watching them, because that is when accidents happen, when parents are around too, because we think that we're being
somebody
attentive.
else is watching.
Right.
Okay, so as we're getting our daughter used to the water, she's 4 now and just getting interested in swimming, we have used life preserver, something like this, for her to get comfortable and gain some confidence in the water. Is this something that's recommended?
So it is, but some things that you need to look at are inside. It's going to say if it's U.S. Coast Guard approved, and you want it to be a U.S. Coast Guard approved. Also the size. Just any old lifeguard, life jacket isn't going to work.
Right.
You want to make sure that it's fitted to their weight, which the weight is listed inside, and then that all the buckles are used. If there's a zipper on it, that it's securely on them. If it's just over their shoulders, it's not going to do the job that it's meant for.
And what about something like this? Is this for someone that's already, they're out of the little wings and out of the vest? So
these are tools that can be used for fun and for practicing drills and skills, but the very important thing is they're not life-saving devices.
Right.
So your kickboards, your floaties, your tubes at the pool, or even the big fun animals that blow up that you float on, they're great for fun, but you still need to have eyes on them. A life jacket is the only thing, when it's fitted properly, that's going to secure a person.
When a child or a family comes to you for swim lessons, what are some of the first tips?
Sure. The first thing that we're working on is it's safety and learning how to swim. That's hand in hand. So we practice where a child is jumping into the pool or falling into the pool, and for them to turn around and grab the wall. Instinct shows when you would fall into water, you come up, you're going to look far, and that's the first thing you see that you're going to want to get to. So turning around, grabbing onto the wall, and then pulling themselves out of the wall, which we call fin-fin belly flipper, but it's elbow, elbow, tummy, knee, and that will hold them up out of the water. Then the other thing that we practice very early on is having them be comfortable in the water and learning to be okay with their face in the water, because if they would also fall, we want them to be able to turn over and float. And floating's not necessarily an easy thing to do, so it's something to practice. And repetitive practicing these skills constantly is what's going to help them when they actually would fall in.
David, my co-host, has even said before, he as an adult doesn't know how to float. So it's something that does take a lot of practice and education. Thank you so much, Christine, for helping us out today. This Mommy Moment is sponsored by Tender Care Learning Center. And for more tips on swim safety or to arrange for lessons at Goldfish, and remember, you can start them as early as 1.
We start 4 months, actually.
4 months you can start them. You can go to our website, pittsburghtodaylive.com.